Called Khorne here, and today I will be sharing with you why I love the Beastmen. The amalgamation of man and goat. These creatures survive through pure bloodlust, making them the ideal playthings for the dark gods. The Beastmen were one of the campaigns I most disliked playing in Warhammer 2, before the Silence and Fury update. Before the Blood God blessed the Doom Bull known as Thorax, and the Beastmen finally ascended from being just a joke. Each of the Beastmen legendary lords finally got their own faction banners, but more importantly, their campaign got drastically better. During the end days of Warhammer 2, Beastmen were considered the best race in the game. In Warhammer 3, however, I would have to disagree with that statement. Although Thorax's campaign might be, in my opinion, the second strongest campaign in the game, the Beastmen as a whole are quite weaker than they used to be. But this is one of the reasons why I love playing them. The Beastmen have army limits that you can increase by completing Bloodground rituals or spending Dread. Dread is rather hard to come by in the early stages of your campaign, and Bloodgrounds complete much slower than they did in Warhammer 2, as there are fewer enemies to fight. This all contributes to the Beastmen's campaign feeling much slower than it used to be. As a result, I find myself enjoying the campaign a lot more than if I were to play a race that can just spam out infinite armies and fight 10 battles a turn, with the majority of those battles just being against settlement garrisons. The AI has a bit more time to build up, and I can appreciate the campaign more. The Beastmen, just like the Tomb Kings, have no army upkeep. Instead, they increase the capacity of their units using Dread, a resource you gain by fighting battles. The scarcity of Dread often means you have to be very careful in how you spend it, and the campaign can feel like it is artificially stifling you. But it also forces you to think about how best to spend it. However, most times this is not a major issue, and is only noticeable after completing rituals and gaining access to more armies. This leads to you not being able to fill those armies with anything other than trashy units, which can be quite frustrating. What also makes them enjoyable is how they are a semi-horde faction, where they raise a hearthstone in a region and turn the surrounding regions into a bloodground, where you can hunt down your foes. I very much enjoy this mechanic, and I always try to get as high a number as possible. So as a sort of minigame, I constantly try and lure the AI into the bloodground. Completing the Bloodground ritual sees your faction evolve, where you get more armies, access to better units, more hearthstones, and progress towards the final battle. Beastmen units are all very fast moving and can be quite deadly, especially with their monstrous units. Battles with the Beastmen are very entertaining and rather chaotic. Your armies will range from being doomstacks to trashy armies, to being a mix of trash and elite units. There is no right or wrong way to build their armies, as it usually comes down to what you have available and which units you want to increase the capacity of. Unlike other factions, Beastmen don't have landmarks to build, but they still do have locations of interest, and raising a hearthstone in these regions will give you faction-wide bonuses, making their campaign even more engaging. With all this being said, the thing I dislike most about the Beastmen is the fact their unique items are fairly lackluster. Since you can spend your income on either construction or items, I had expected the items to be amazing, but they are indeed quite a letdown. The banners and followers are exactly what I would have expected, but the items themselves are quite bad. Out of 6 items, only 2 are decent. and the rest are just not really worth the cost, in my opinion. Champion's Essence got so nerfed from Warhammer 2 that it is not even funny. Now, not only is it not worth 10,000 income, but it is, in my opinion, worse than most grey items in the game. And I really do find it quite sad. CA keeps doing this, or they just make things the community finds fun worse. Not to mention the fact that the premium elemental beasts can't be boosted by your Lord's Red line or unique skill line. Well, these are all the things I find fun about the Beastmen. What about you? Do you enjoy playing them? Or are they too stinky for you? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and until next time.